All right, everyone. Now it's time for the main news of the day, which is Trump appears ready to renege on the concept of freezing federal employees' pay. They were going to get a 2.1% raise, and he's like, "Well, I'm going to, prevent that from happening. We got economic problems. Now's not the time to give you a raise." After a lot of pushback from Democrats, Republicans, and federal employees, of course, Trump said, "Oh yeah, I'll seriously reconsider this. We'll look and see what we can do." I strongly encourage him not to reconsider. You shouldn't just freeze their raise. You should reduce the amount of money given to federal employees. Ultimately, they should get less money and they shouldn't even get a pension. That's what I think. They shouldn't get free healthcare on the taxpayer dole. Why do you think government costs so fucking much? It's because we pay several million fucking people so much fucking money, and then the states have their own bureaucracy. The state of Vermont is the second largest employer in the state of Vermont. Did you know that? Thousands of state employees. It's not necessary. Totally unnecessary. That's why we've got budgetary problems. The problem isn't our taxes aren't high enough. The government doesn't have enough income. It has plenty of income. Infinite income. Trillions of dollars of income. It's not a problem. The problem is it spends too much. Where do you think it spends all of this shit? A lot of it goes towards propping up Medicaid, Medicare sort of stuff. Not Social Security. That's not an entitlement. That's a zero-sum game, or it should be if Congress weren't fucking with it constantly. Social Security's fine. It's not socialism at all. It's a shitty program. It needs a lot of work and maybe shouldn't even technically exist constitutionally, but it is technically solvent on its face. The military, and then basically paying a bunch of pensions. Paying the bloated salaries of federal workers. Now, statistically speaking, there are probably dozens of federal workers that watch my material. Yeah, sorry, but I think that you shouldn't get a pay raise. No, I don't care if you have mouths to feed or whatever. So do all the other Americans that have to pay tax money to pay your salary and the salaries of other federal workers. Who cares? It's not my responsibility. Most of those federal offices, I get literally no benefit from them. Most of them are net negative for the economy. They simply drain money. You never get as much back as you've paid for them. It's not necessary. They overlap constantly. They've got the people who are paid to sit on their ass, 8 hours a day, and collect a pension and shit. It's unnecessary. No, I wouldn't give them a raise at all. I think we should have a freeze on all spending increases for the next fucking 100 years. I think it would be wonderful if we did that. I think it would also make the economy a lot stronger. Ronald Reagan did it. It didn't collapse our economy, did it? No, we entered a boom time fairly shortly after. I wonder how that happened. What we need to do is freeze no more raises, no more increased budgets for the next, 4 or 5 years. We'd be running a surplus. Thanks to that, when that happened, we started running on near surplus at the time, under Ronald Reagan. Then Clinton, one of the best things he ever did was not tinker with the Reagan program. It's like, oh yeah, we'll give you a raise, but it's not going to be as big as the raises you used to get back in the 70s or 60s or something. It used to be constant mounting money. No, we'll slow it down a little bit. Let the GDP catch up a bit. And then we started running a surplus that Bush pissed away. Wonderful, by the way. No, we should lower taxes further. Cut half the federal workforce. Then we wouldn't have any problems. That includes, by the way, a lot of the military pork. It's like, oh, the military wants to develop this drone to deliver pizza. Okay, that'll be helpful for the troops on the front line. It'll be cardboard pizza from Monsanto, probably. But okay, yeah, you can get pizza while you're under fire. It'll be a good time had by all. Now, Trump needs to be pressured to make good on his original proposal, which is to freeze their raises and not give it to them because we are in debt. We don't have money to spend right now. We have negative money. We make less than we are paying out. That shouldn't be happening. That's irresponsible and reckless. Short term to stimulate things through debt spending, okay. We've done that. The economy is now growing faster. It's time to ease up on the debt spending. It's time to slowly withdraw that back and pull it back in so that we are a normally functioning economy instead of one that is continuously stimulating itself through money printing and inflation. It's no longer necessary. We're pissing away the value of our entire economy on things that make no sense, including giving raises to people that already typically make more than people in the private marketplace. If you have some job where the federal worker's making 60 grand a year, and someone in the private workforce is only making 50 grand in a very similar job description, If that federal worker feels mistreated by not getting a 2.5% raise, I'm sorry, you need to learn to make do with a little bit less in your life. Maybe instead of buying top shelf wine to get yourself drunk to forget that you're a government cog, maybe buy mid-shelf wine. Trust me, it works just as well. So does bottom shelf. Trust me, just get a box of Franzia. Be the best time ever. By the way, I don't drink anymore. Yeah, it'd be wonderful, wouldn't it? Yeah, let's give you a 2.5% raise. Okay, so if the worker's making $100,000, that's a raise of $2,500 every single year. Well, that's quite a bit of money when you consider the size of the federal workforce. We're talking about millions of people getting this raise. It's not necessary. Trump should stick with his original proposal and say, yeah, we're freezing this spending increase because we have a deficit. That's called being responsible. And Trump knows this, or he wouldn't have proposed it in the first place. But these people, Congress, and look, the Republicans are against him too. They're like, no, give the federal workers their raise. They work so hard. Donald Trump hates the federal government workers, just like he hates the FBI. This is to punish the FBI. That's what they're going to say. It's so stupid. If you don't want to rack up more debt, you're an irresponsible and horrible person who hates your own federal employees. That's basically what they're throwing at him. I think that it's nuts. That's about all. Peace out.